Good afternoon. I have an Openroad 13,000 pound winch that I will be installing into Janky. The first step of installing this into Janky, into that ARB bumper, is I need to do what's called clocking the winch. So that's the point of this video here, simply just to show you how to rotate this clutch on the winch, how to clock that into whatever position you need it to be into for whatever vehicle you're working on, or if you've got the same kind of ARB bumper that I've got that you have to do this, or a barking dog. And this is how you have to mount this. This is how to go about doing it. Super easy. All you need is two tools. You need two Allen wrenches. I've got a 6mm and I've got a 3mm Allen wrench. And this is it. This is all we need to clock that winch and get it ready to install. First thing you're gonna do, take your 6mm Allen wrench and you'll remove the two bolts that go through the clutch casing into the spreader bars across the top of the winch. And then this will just go ahead and the whole thing will just go ahead and slide apart. So with those two bolts taken out, just those two, now everything from here outside of this drum is just kind of sitting there together. Everything is just kind of slipped together. There's nothing else holding it together. So now we'll just lift this up. We can separate the two halves because we won't need to use the drum or any of the motor assembly. And we can go ahead and set about clocking the clutch. So you can see that separates super easy. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and take this, I'm gonna set it over here just to get it out of the way so I can go ahead and work on the clutch. That won't fall over, right? It'll be okay. Okay, so with this now sitting in front of us here, we'll just go ahead and take all of these bolts out here so that we can then lift this bulkhead up and rotate it around to whatever direction we need it to go. Okay, so with all of those bolts loose, I left them in the holes just because it'll make it easier to align it when I put it back on. We can just lift this straight up. You want to watch out underneath because there is a paper gasket. So make sure you don't catch that and tear that. You can actually see there's the paper gasket right there that we're being careful with. So we're just going to rotate this 90 degrees. Now, because of the bolt pattern and the bolt spacing, unfortunately, you can't run exactly 90 degrees. You would have to run a little bit less or you have to run a little bit more. And from looking at the bumper and how it fits and how my hand needs to fit in there, I have decided I'm gonna run this just a little bit farther than 90 degrees. So I'm just gonna go ahead and line that back up, get that down there so that all the bolts get started again. And now we just tighten them back up. Okay, now I've got them all just kind of finger snug down. Now let's go ahead and tighten them. As you're tightening these, I don't know if it matters, but I always like to go in kind of a crisscross pattern, back and forth. Also remember that you are tightening these, drop your wrench. Tightening these into an aluminum housing. So you want them tight, you don't want them to fall out, but you don't have to kill it. You just want them tight enough that they're not gonna fall out, and you can just move on with your life. Boom. All those are tight. This is all packaged back together, ready to get thrown back on the rest of the winch. So we have to make sure that this center shaft gets centered and lined up inside of here, and that gear gets lined up in those teeth. So we'll just carefully place this down there, rotate it around as you need. Careful not to pinch your finger, exactly like I did. If you need to adjust it a little more, you can just pull the clutch out like that. Boom. You want to line up these holes here so we can put the bolts back in there. So that's it, we're done. Super easy. Only 2 tools that you probably already have. If you don't, just go buy yourself a metric Rowland set and you'll have them. These are super common, a 3 and a 6. And what did that take us, like 10 minutes? So now it's ready to go into the bumper when the feet are mounted, when the dog walks through. When the feet are mounted forward, you have access to the clutch. And I actually kind of like it this way, that most of the wiring is actually now at the back of the motor assembly, keeping the wires a little bit more safe and secure. So if you just bought one of these Openroad winches, or if you're thinking about buying one of these Openroad winches, but you're worried that this, I don't know if the lever's gonna be where I can get to it, fear not. You just watch me do it. Super, super easy, 2 tools. I really appreciate you watching. If you have any questions, leave me a comment. I'll be able to answer it for you. This was super, super easy. Thank you to Openroad 4x4 for sending this out to me and sending it out quick. If you liked the video, click that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Click that notification bell so that you don't miss any future videos, so that you don't miss the rest of the install on this winch, and then taking it out and getting stuck and testing it out. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.